In order to successfully grow vegetables in containers, you still need the most important thing, a full sun location. So if you don't have full sun, you need to find a spot where you can put your containers that they're going to get at least 6 hours of sunlight every day. The next thing you need are your containers, and then you need a potting soil. We always recommend a potting soil for growing vegetables in containers, not garden soil, because potting soil is going to drain better and it's usually free of any insects or diseases that may cause problems for your vegetables. The smallest that I would recommend for a container would be about 12 to 15 inches in diameter. It's also important when growing vegetables in containers to have a container that's deep enough. A really shallow container is not going to be able to hold enough water for the vegetables to grow well. So the two most important parts of choosing a container are having one that's wide enough and deep enough. Another important consideration for selecting containers is to make sure that there's a drainage hole in the bottom, because that will allow excess water to escape the pot so that your plants don't get overwatered. Almost any vegetable can be grown in a container, although some will be more successful than others. If you're only going to use small containers, then you should look for varieties of vegetables that are smaller or more compact. There's many types of tomatoes that are dwarf plants that grow smaller rather than the large full-size tomato plants. Most peppers will do really well in containers regardless of their variety. But if you want to consider growing things like squash or melons or cucumbers, you're going to need a much larger container because they need that much soil in order to grow really well. A shallow container like this one is more ideal for growing things like lettuce or spinach in the early spring when keeping them watered isn't as big of a problem. Lettuce and spinach don't have as deep a root system either, so they don't mind a shallower container. If you want to grow a larger vegetable like a pepper or an eggplant or a small tomato plant, you're going to want a larger container, 12 to 15 inches across and about a foot deep, because that will provide enough soil area for the plant to do really well. If you want to grow larger plants like cucumbers, squash, or a full-size tomato plant, you want to use a larger container that's going to have lots of area for soil and will be a lot easier to keep watered and moist during the summer.
For more information, visit your local extension office or visit our website at kansasgreenyards.org.